This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, all of you. How's it going? I'm audible?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. Okay, we'll get started. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Fine. So, I think we covered the Cano model, basically the prioritization techniques yesterday, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Any questions so far? Do you guys revise?
Yes,
And
we
while you
did.
were revising, did you have any questions?
I had one, but I should have write it down. Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I wanted to know about in
Mhm,
rice method,
mhm.
how did you count for the point, the
Sorry.
last number?
The effort?
Hold on, not effort, but you sum up everything, right? The rice score
Okay, okay. Rice score.
and that number one, two, three. How did you get that?
Okay, let me open that Excel, by the way. Just give me. So basically, the we get a score of assume 20, 15, 13, 12. We take the highest score into consideration. That is 20. If the score is 20, that's the first priority. If the score is 15, that's the second priority. Score is yeah less than that, third priority, and so on. So higher the score, no, the will give a ranking, that is ranking meaning okay, this is the priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, that way.
So do we
Okay,
have to count or other team member do that and we have to figure out, I mean, the for the priority. Do we have to
uh,
sum up, like do we have to gather all this data and count?
yes, yes, it's completely on you, on the or the product manager.
Okay,
Yes, no one else. The team members are not involved in this. The
okay,
team members are nowhere involved in this, and
okay,
this is all the back end work that you will be doing before going to the team.
okay. So we should know how to get the score, right?
Yes, yes, correct,
Yes.
correct. Is it clear? Do you still want me to get the Excel?
No, no,
I'm
no,
trying
no.
to. It's clear, right? Okay, fine. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay, great. Fine. We'll start with uh, roadmap. Now, roadmaps. Basically, we while we are doing project, we did come across a roadmap, right? We build a roadmap. We have it here. So it's the same thing. How do you build the roadmap? So you'll have on the y-axis you'll have all the features or epics that you're developing, and on the x-axis you'll have the timeline. And based on features and epics, you will kind of see, okay, when can we start this and how much time do we take, and for each of this, right? Similarly, for maybe insurance details, we'll start here and here. So if you do all these things, then automatically you'll have your roadmap in place. So roadmap meaning you'll know what you'll be doing for the next 6 months to 1 year. That's your roadmap. So any questions on roadmap? I think we already covered. So usually you will be asked, as a product, when you are working as a product owner, the management team, they will always ask you, hey, what is the roadmap? What is the work? Do you have enough work in coming days? So do you have enough work in coming days? And so you should be able to show them the roadmap. You should be able to show them the roadmap. So this is the work that we have, and we are occupied for the next maybe 6 months to 1 year. Usually, while the project manager tries to get the budget, right? Budget for that, the project manager will surely ask for a roadmap. Okay, I'll get you the budget. Show me the roadmap. Then you should be able to show the work that's there as part of roadmap.
Rajiv, you definitely have told us about this, but just want to refresh the question that
Mm.
how to decide the timeline for each
Huh.
epic.
Timeline for each epic you decide based on what are the various activities that we need to do. Like for example, when you break this down into stories, like, okay, first I need to create a username, then password has to be created. These are the various stories or activities that has to be done. Then at a high level, you will get an estimate saying that, okay, this might need around based on story points. You might decide like, okay, this needs so many story points, which might take around 2 sprints. Based on that, you will put at a ballpark ballpark estimates for this. Of course, by breaking down this epic into further stories, you will be able to get it. Excuse me, give me a minute. Sorry, does that answer your question?
Pretty much, but to decide
Oh,
this timeline, we should have story points in our hand, right? Like each story.
yes, each story, but you need not go to that minute level. As I'm saying, this is more of a and
Okay.
also ballpark number, and also have in project management. Usually, we have a concept called buffers, where you'll usually have around 20% buffer added to the time that you think will be done. So have that buffer in place, and that buffer in place, and give a ballpark number for each of the epics, and with that, plan and build a roadmap. Okay. In project management, usually this is called as Gantt chart, if you have heard of it. Gantt chart.
Grant,
Gantt.
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 Okay.
This is Gantt chart that's there, which a project manager will also be building from their point of view.
Okay.
Okay.
So how we can define a roadmap?
Uh, Definition of a roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, roadmap is nothing but the the work that the team will be doing for the next 6 months to 1 year, and specifically broken down at epic level. When are we starting an epic? When are we ending an epic? So, and when are we starting the next epic? Ending the next epic. So that breakdown of the work over a period of 6 months to 1 year, or for your complete project itself, in fact, for the complete project, if you have a complete picture, then break down the work, then you will get to know when are we completing the project also. So
Okay.
this roadmap is more of a involvement of both project management and product owner. Both of you together have to build this, because without knowing the scope, project manager cannot build this, and without knowing the exact timelines and everything, you alone cannot build this. So it would be a collaborative work between the project manager and the product owner.
Okay.
And
So for
Rajiv, who decide
example,
the? Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Complete your thing, Pooja.
yeah. Okay. So as you have in this picture, as
Mhm,
registration starts in September, whatever it is, and
mhm,
ends in November, mid November. So
mhm.
this all stories should be completed within that time frame.
Yes, yes, this
Okay.
epic itself should be closed. For you
You
to
should be
close the
closed.
epic, ultimately all the stories should be closed.
Okay, and it is necessary that it usually takes a project to complete 6 months to 1 year. Usually, every project takes that.
it depends on the complexity of the project and also the organization that you'll be in. Because the bigger the organization, the more the process, the more the time they take. But if you go to the startups, right, they complete projects like in 1 month, 2 months. But 6 months is a decent duration. 6 months is
Okay.
definitely a decent duration which you can
Okay.
consider.
Okay. Got you.
Okay. Yeah, Ami, you had more questions, right?
Yes, I had a question about the story point. So who would
Uh,
decide the story point
those story points are decided by the team
team,
during
right?
during the grooming sessions and planning sessions. The team will decide that.
Decide the story point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But for to build the roadmap, you need not go until the story point level.
Okay.
You
That's why
know
I
you
get it gets complicated
confused.
because you said
Yeah,
the roadmap will be decided on the story point. So story point comes in the after process.
after process, correct. But you should have a ballpark number. Now,
Okay.
okay. Now, one more thing is, I think I should cover this. Now, story points is at the story level, right? But assume you have not broken down, or you have identified all these tasks, but you don't have the story points. Now, there is another way to estimate this. What is that? Something called as t-shirt sizing.
What is it? What is
Okay,
it? Let me write down. What is it?
no, t-shirt sizing. I'll come to that. So it's called as t-shirt sizing estimation.
That was on
So
story point estimation, right?
T-shirt sizing. T-shirt sizing. No, for road
where
mapping.
yeah, no,
Okay.
t-shirt
Yeah.
sizing is usually done at the epic level. Estimation at the
Okay.
epic level. Story points are used for estimation at the story level. So here you will say, you know, S. You'll use this SM, just like your t-shirts, small, medium, large, extra large. Things. You will use these to say what is the complexity or what is the size of the epic. Okay, you can say, okay, this epic is small, this epic is medium, this epic is large. That is how you estimate the epic level. Okay,
Yes, yes, got it.
and again, yeah, this is uh, mostly the of course with your collaboration only, but mostly the project manager's responsibility to get these estimations. Estimation is always responsibility of the uh, project manager at the project level, scrum master at the sprint level.
Scrum Master Sprint Level. Can you repeat that sentence, please? Sorry.
Estimation responsibility, getting the estimation, the responsibility who should do that is at the project level, it should always be project manager. At the sprint level, it should always be responsibility of the scrum master.
Scrum Master.
Yeah,
Got it.
okay, sure.
So
Any other
Rajiv,
questions? Yeah.
once we start this, this is the starting level of a product or something. Certain products, like certain projects, it's ongoing, right?
Mhm.
For example, in a school system, we have the like a login for each child that's ongoing every year. So
Mm.
in that case, do we still use the roadmap?
No, no, there you've already built the software.
Okay,
You already built the software, but then you're onboarding new students as and when they come.
okay,
So the system is already built. You already built how you log in and how
hmm,
you register a person. So what
okay,
what you'll be doing year on year when new students come, you will just add those students to the database and
hmm,
give them the login details. That's all. So that is
okay,
admin job mostly. That is admin job. Nowhere development and all is involved.
okay. So if anything has to be added on,
Hmm. And
then what?
that's more getting added that person to the portal. Like how do you do that? Just have a registration form. When they fill the details goes and sits in the database. From there on, the user can log in.
Okay. No, the I what I meant was if they
Uh,
want to add more features to that,
uh-huh. Okay.
like
More features
okay,
to that. It can be an enhancement project. Like it can be release one. The initial project can be release one, and then you
mhm,
have release two, and then release three. excuse me, that releases versions will be changing. Or
Okay.
those are considered as different projects.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So it will
Those
not
will
be
be
part of.
considered as, yeah, it won't be part of same. So this is your one project. You have
Okay.
a roadmap for this particular project. Then you have more features.
Okay.
That's your second project. Then you'll have a roadmap for that.
Okay.
Because if you take all this, Facebook and everything,
Hmm.
if that is the case, then it will be one single roadmap, right? Because that's one single product, if you
Yeah.
see. Yeah. So it will all be split into multiple projects.
Okay.
So Rajiv, in short, we built one software. That project is over.
Mm,
It's in operation, in user, like
mm.
people start using it, and then again, if there is some change to be add or needed, then we have to again make a new epic, new project, and again the same series will start, right?
Yes, it depends on the
Okay,
complexity of it.
okay,
If it is,
okay.
a small one, then
Mm-hmm.
you will just involve one developer and get it done. But if it is
Okay,
a big one, which needs more discussion, more time, then a separate project itself
project
would
will
be
start.
created.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it is. Fine. Any other questions?
I have no
Mm.
question.
No.
Oh, sure. Just 2 to 3 minutes, I'll be back, okay? Two to
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
minutes. Hey, I'm back. Okay. So, any other questions on roadmap?
No.
Okay. We will move ahead then. We'll go to the next module that is mostly on trying to understand what is a product life cycle. Meaning, what are the various stages that a product goes through, and how do we validate the product that you're building is fitting into the market, that is product market fit, and try to understand roles and partnership of a product manager and product owner. How do you both work closely, and who's responsible for what? We'll try to fine tune that here, Of course, initially we discuss few things, but we'll try to fine tune that, and then we'll see, how an agile organization works and distributed teams work. These distributed teams and agile organization methods, there's a little bit of theory, okay, and then we'll touch upon scaled agile. Scaled agile, it in itself is a big course, and it in itself has around 10 certifications. So I'm not covering that, but my intention of keeping it here is I'll show you, what scaled agile is, and you can learn if you are more interested on it on your own. Okay, but I just wanted to inform you that there is something called a scaled agile. So I'll touch upon what is scaled agile and where you can learn about it, and what are the
Rajiv, quick
various
question.
certifications that are involved in scaled agile. Yeah, go ahead.
So, if we get interview, if we get the job, do we need this in priority, scaling agile?
So scaled agile, the thing is, usually scaled agile is used in big organizations. That is, scaled agile means agile at scale. That is, how does it work in a big organization? So sometimes the organization expect you to know about scaled agile. Yes, the expectation is fair, and they might ask for that. But again, it depends on the organization, and there is no point in jumping into scaled agile uh, before you knowing about the actual things Scrum and Agile that we are learning, right? So this is
Okay.
the first step, and maybe once you get in 1 year, you you work and understand, and then in the meantime you can learn the scaled Agile, take the certifications and other things. Okay, yeah. But yeah, if you are interested and curious to know about it, you can upfront go ahead and start learning about that. That's also there, yeah. And you can also take up certifications on scaled Agile. I'll touch upon that. What are the various certifications that are there and everything. Okay. Does that answer your question, Ami?
Yes, Rajiv. Yes.
Okay. Fine, sure. Okay. Now let's try to understand what's a product life cycle. Now, what are the various stages a product goes through in its life cycle? Okay. So there are 5 stages in product life cycle, starting from development phase, and then the introduction phase. Then we have the growth, maturity, and decline phase. These are the 5 phases that's there in a product life cycle. Okay. Now, development phase is nothing but a typical development phase where we all these things that we discussed about Scrum, we plan it, we develop it, and then we close it, right? So, so that's all about development. How you develop the software. Okay, that we have anyway learned it. So the thing starts. Excuse me, but the main thing starts once you develop it, and once you launch it, when you introduce it to the market. When you introduce your market as a product to the market, that's when you know things start. How do you, excuse me. Yeah. So when you launch the product, then you have introduced your, you have entered into the introduction phase. Excuse me. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so once the development is complete, you need to launch it to the market, right? You need to take it to the market. Now, how do you do that? Something you'll see. What happens is, uh, yeah, when you launch the product, you enter the introduction phase of the life cycle. Here, where here your marketing team will be, and one other thing I want to say is, maybe as a product owner or business analyst, your job will end in development itself. Your job will end in development itself. These things are extra things which, you know, if you know what is happening, then it would be good for you to come back to the development phase and write more requirements. That's the intention of covering this product life cycle. Okay. But definitely, as a product manager, in case if you're thinking like a product manager, and your product, the understanding of product's life cycle is absolutely needed. Okay. Fine. So, so yeah, when you're introduced, once the development is complete, once the product is ready to be launched, you'll introduce it to the market. There are two ways which can be used to introduce your product to the market. One is using the penetration strategy, then other is using skimming strategy. What is penetration strategy? Penetration strategy is a strategy where you start with, you know, you start introducing the product to the market by at a very low cost or giving it out absolutely free. The main intention of doing this is you want to build the customer base. Your intention is not to, make profits immediately. Your intention is to sell the product to the customer and get the user or customers accustomed to it. Get the users get used to it. So you spend a lot of, you launch the product. You might be at loss also at this point. Sometimes you will even, say give it out for free. Because your intention is just to get the customers. You get the customers used to it, and to such an extent that customers are kind of addicted to it, and then slowly you start, you know, charging for things like, same example, Geo, how Geo
Geo,
did
yeah.
it in India.
I was just gonna say the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah. So how Geo did it in India. So that's called as penetration strategy. That, you build a customer base and then you make later you make profits. The second strategy is skimming strategy, where you don't compromise on the price. Your product is very highly priced. iPhones, right?
iPhone.
Whenever
Yeah.
yeah, whenever they come with new version, uh, they don't start with low price. They start with high price, and over a period of time, the price reduces, right? So that is skimming strategy. These are two strategies that are used to introduce your product to the market. Okay. So now, next stage is growth phase. Now, at this point in the life cycle, the customers or consumers, they have kind of understood your product and are, buying it. They're now buying it, and the demand and profit is definitely growing. And also, the competition is also, or the competitors, they're also looking to, you know interrupt your success at this point. Interrupt your success, right? So at this stage, uh, you'll move from getting attention from customers to establishing a brand presence. You'll start building that brand because you have already got good number of customers. Now you need to build that brand, right? Show them why you should choose, why someone has to choose your product over any other competitor product. And as your company grows, you keep adding new features to your product. You you know you you know beef up your support services, open new distribution channels. All of these efforts will, you know solidify your market. Like, for example, take any company, like, be it Tesla, be it Facebook, be it any other new age company like Starbucks and all those things, right? So I would say they are all in growth phase. They are all in growth phase, and they keep on innovating. That innovation is continuous, right? That innovation is continuous. Otherwise, there are hundreds of competitors who are ready to, overtake them if these people relax and do not innovate, right? So they're all in growth phase where they keep on innovating, and of course they are seeing profits, and if they want to continue seeing profits, then they have to keep innovating. Okay? Which means they keep on adding new features. Which means there will be work for business analyst ultimately, right? Yeah. So that's the growth phase. Any questions so far?
No.
So
No question.
most of this new age technology companies are in a growth phase, I could say. And then comes the maturity phase. So when you see a stable sales happening, and there's a rapid growth that has happened. So now you have entered a maturity stage. So uh, at this stage you may have to reduce the prices to stay competitive. Now your focus is on differentiation instead of awareness. Here you have made the customers aware. Why should they use your product? But here you are kind of differentiating and saying why you should use why the customers should use your product instead of any other product. And pointing out the superior features that you have. And during this phase the production costs might decline and sales are really steady. It's you might get tempted to sit back and enjoy the steady sales, but you must make again ongoing improvements to your product and let consumers know that it's continuing to get better. It's continuing to get better. At this point the market saturation can occur. Competitors must have begun taking a they would have already started taking a portion of your market. Although many consumers are using the product, there are no there might be too many competitors. The only way out of this dilemma is to focus on your strengths, differentiation, features, brand awareness, price, and customer service, right? To become the brand of choice. If not, you will enter the decline, which nobody wants to do, right? So, couple of examples if you want to take on maturity, anything that you have in mind.
Tata company
Yeah,
or
any Tata companies,
Honda
absolutely.
company, yeah, maturity
Honda,
phase.
take, take this Pepsi, Coca-Colas. They're there
Correct.
from
Yeah,
centuries. Honeywell, all this, right? Snyder. So all the key building products, the key building products. So they build that brand value. Even though there are so many competitors, they small competitors do come up, but still they have built that brand value and things over a period of time, and they are maturing continuously. They are not like laid back sitting and on the same products. They are continuously innovating. They are acquiring. Of course, if they are not able to innovate, they'll acquire, right? Because that is how much money they'll have over a period of time, right? Agree on that? Okay. Then we have the decline phase where nobody wants to get into. So if your brand is not the market's favorite, you will start to experience the last stage. And excuse me. Yeah, you will enter the last phase. Yeah. And ultimately nobody wants to be here. uh, Everyone will be taking share of your market, and sales will typically decrease in the face of rising competition. Too much competition from the products with similar features is the reason for it. And also innovation, lack of innovation, absolutely lack of innovation. So if you can't differentiate your product, you won't be able to stand out in the crowd. Like think about how the arrival of Facebook as a social media app affected the downfall of MySpace, Orkut, and all those things, right? Take Yahoo itself. How did it fall when because of Google came, they innovated so much. Yahoo could not innovate. They could not catch up. They almost perished. We don't. We hardly use Yahoo anymore, right? And Kodak, the camera. That's one other example.
that's
Mm,
Orkut over Facebook.
yes, Orkut or Facebook, and so many things. Blockbuster. I think Netflix
Netflix,
disrupted that,
yes.
right? Yeah. So yeah, that's all examples of decline phase where they were not able to innovate, and someone came and abruptly innovated and took over the market.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, nobody wants to be there, but but if innovation lacks, ultimately the organizations will enter there. So yeah, these are stages that a product usually goes through. Okay. Any questions here, or any other thoughts you have in mind which you want to add?
So this is just for the knowledge, right? Like how it goes, like what is the cycle?
Yeah, because if you know that cycle as a BA, you can think better.
Correct.
That's the objective of having this.
Correct.
Right? It's not just about thinking about user stories, writing user stories, and explaining to
Oh
the
no,
team,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
you
about the
need
general
to, yeah,
idea,
exactly, correct, correct. You need to know the big picture, what
big
about
picture, right?
the big picture, and then maybe you can think, think in a broad way, and think how your product can kind of stand out from other competitors. So yeah, that's the reason of having this product life cycle. Okay. Any other questions?
No,
No,
not regarding this. No.
no, no.
Okay. Sure, sure. Okay. Fine. So next one is about the product market fit. Now, what is product market fit? So basically, product market fit is nothing but the product that you are building. How is it? How is it relevant in the market? How is it? How is it differentiated in the market? Differentiated in the market is something you will figure out from the product market fit. So uh, so usually when do you see this? Is this happens when you have successfully identified your target customer, and and you are serving them with the right product. And after achieving product market fit, excuse me, the next step is to scale it by finding more customers with your target market through research and other things, right? So, but let's try to understand this. Now, assume there's a problem. There is a problem. Now, how do you solve it, and how do you develop? How do you identify whom are you solving the problem for, and what are the underserved needs? Underserved needs of the users. You need to keep these two things in mind. And how do you know these two things? By market research. And based on that, keeping these two things in mind, target customers and underserved needs, you will build a value proposition and then develop a features and make sure the user experience is good. And so basically this is the product side of it where you are developing it. This is more the market side of it where you're trying to understand the actual problem in the market and trying to see how we can resolve it. Okay. Um, now target customers. Now assume I'm thinking of an example here. What example can I take? Mm, okay, take anything that you have in mind. Like, can any of you mention any startup ideas that's there, or you have any ideas in your mind which you can talk about? Take it as an example.
Like already existing company or a new development?
A new development, new
Mm,
or existing one also. Some new features that you're adding which gives value. Okay.
I have
Okay,
no.
fine. Oh, okay. No, so okay, sure, no worries, no worries.
Raju,
So,
sorry to interrupt, but I just want to
uh,
understand this one. What is this product market fit? What is fit for? What is fit stand like? Fit into
meaning
what? Yeah,
fitting into the market. Now,
fitting into.
you
Okay,
you have a product in place. How feasible it is in the market? Will your product be accepted in the market?
okay,
Will your product be accepted into the market? Like take an example of food delivery app, food or grocery delivery app itself. So you need to identify who are your target customers. Your target customers are people who are have busy lives, and they mostly don't have time to go out and shop, or they don't like to go out or shop, and they want it at doorstep. So such are the people who are your target customers. And where can you find such customers? Mostly in busy cities, right? So you need to identify the target customers. And what are the underserved needs here? The underserved needs is uh, about quickly delivering the products to the doorstep. Like for example, now in India, we have got products like Zepto and other things where things are delivered in 10 minutes, literally in 10 minutes, right? So you order, and within 10 minutes, your product would be delivered. So what are the underserved needs here? The underserved need is if you need a quickly milk packet, or if you quickly need a bread, or for your pets, you need any food quickly for your pets or dogs, right? So you can quickly order and you can get it in 10 minutes. That is the underserved need. Nobody was addressing it. Nobody was addressing that particular need. Of course, there was delivery, but then Amazon and all these people, they were taking a couple of days, 1 day or 2 day, right? But nobody was thinking about that. No, quick delivery immediately, right? So that was the underserved needs, which we understood from the market. And then you build a value proposition based out of this underserved needs. The value proposition that you are giving is like, hey, look, I'm delivering it within 10 minutes. That is my value proposition. That will be a sales pitch. Of course, there might be many companies who are doing this delivery, but 10 minutes is really, really challenging. And you say that I'll deliver in 10 minutes. Others, maybe they'll deliver it in 1 hour, 30 minutes and so. But the value that you are giving this particular company, Zepto, or there are few other Blinkit and other companies. So Blinkit, Zepto, and all in India, their value proposition is we will deliver within 10 minutes. Otherwise, you know, anything like a discount or to take it free, something like that. Even Pizza Hut or Domino's, they have the same concept, right? Give it in 45 minutes or 1 hour, or take it free. That is their value proposition. I hope that is making sense, right?
Yeah.
And based on that, you build a feature set. You build a feature set, uh, for the product. If it's the app that you are building for a Zepto or Blinkit, what are the features that you need to have in that app? In that app, that, like for example, the moment from where you placed an order, the timer will start, and showing if the order is being picked up, where the driver is, that map view of the driver, or contacting the driver, or dropping a note to the driver. So yeah, all these things, and also feedback. So all those things can be features. And user experience, UX is user experience. UX consists of both things, UI and UX. UI is user interface, UX is user experience. When I say user experience, it is about how easy are you making the user to use the app. How is the user experiencing while they're using the mobile app? How is that experience? Is it seamless? Is the user able to understand stuff? Is the user able to navigate across easily? So that is user experience. Okay. So these are a few things that you need to consider when it comes to product side of it. So I have a similar thing here where yeah, flowchart where you first determine who your target customers are, then you identified the underserved customer needs, and then you determine the value proposition, what is the value that you are giving, and then you determine your In case if you want to deliver MVP, of course, right, that's a better way to go. Yeah, you will specify what is the features that we are delivering as part of the MVP, that is minimum viable product. Once you specify that, then you create your MVP, and then you quickly test it in one area, a small area in a Bangalore city, or in a small city somewhere. You test, see how it works, and then you take it to a wider market, right? So yeah, this is on validating product market fit. Any questions here? Is it confusing?
No, not confusing. Just need time to understand. Maybe I have to
Okay,
rewatch it or something.
sure, sure. Pooja, Pearl, any questions?
No.
No, Ranjit.
Okay, sure. Okay, then we'll stop here, and we'll continue on Monday.
Raju, just a quick question, quick
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
Have you covered anything regarding create a version, like
Create
same with the stories and stuff? Create a
in Jira,
version.
is it? In Jira.
Yes, in Jira.
Yeah, yeah. I think I have not covered it, but I can show you that. I'll
Okay,
show you in the next
next
class.
time. Yeah, but
Yeah,
just wanted to. I was just
yeah,
studying and
yeah.
think I
This is
have.
where we can create a release. We can create a version here. I'll show it in the next class.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, fine, sure.
yeah, sure.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing
Bye
it up.
bye.
I will say. Thank you. Thank you. Have
Yeah,
a good
bye.
weekend. Take care.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah.